Hey there, this is Dave with OC Astronomy, and that's Cassie, named for Cassiopeia, and there's Vega, my little puppies. Aren't you cute? They're so cute. They're a little cute. They like to attack each other. But I'm doing a little follow-up video for my tracking and guiding. You notice I'm at my house, and I'm able to run the observatory from home. That's the whole point of setting up all this remote nonsense. And I just wanted to do a follow-up with the guider, the new guider that I got. It's a 50 millimeter guide scope with a Barlow and a QHY 5L mono camera, and I wanted to just show you why it's making a difference for me. It's really helping. So you can see the guide star. I have it pretty well zoomed up here in the middle. The main thing over here is the SNR, the signal to noise ratio, is about 100. With that camera on a 3-second exposure, it's pulling in some nice stars for guide stars, and it's getting a really high signal to noise ratio, which is giving it a really good indication of where the centroid is of that star, and it's not dancing around very much, you can tell. And then here's the graph. I know a lot of you guys like to see the graph for PhD, but this is just the graph from Maxim. And you can see here on the left, this is in arc seconds. So there's plus and minus 5 arc seconds. That's the top line is my RA, and then the bottom line is the deck. But you can see on the deck, I actually have minimum movements set up so that it won't move, and I have it set up for about a half. And so the reason why that deck isn't coming back to the line is I'm just telling it to sit still at a half of a pixel and not move unless it needs to. And then the RA is there on top. That's probably not perfect, but it's keeping track there. The curve is definitely smooth. It doesn't have any huge jumps of plus and minus 10 like it did before. Now it's all just nice and even. And then my RMS numbers, this is my right ascension. It's X. I know it's usually Y, but it's around 1 point, about 1. Oh, I just went down there for a little bit. It's averaging out. It's averaging out those negative points there, but it's not bad at all. And then my the deck is also under 1, so about 1 pixel for RMS on the RA, and about less than 1 for the deck. And then here is the key point. I'm taking a picture of NGC 869, which is 1/2 of the double cluster, and these are 30-second subs, and I'm zoomed in really, really tight. And they're not perfectly round, but by the time that I stack them and do some convolution, they're going to be really nice. You can see the finer stars there are really nice and round. It's just the bright ones that are a little bit wavy. And this, it may not be the best performance from an astrophotography standpoint, but it's way better than I was getting. So now it's a lot better. There's one that shows a little bit of movement on them. Those are a little bit oblong for my taste. I'd much rather have something a little rounder. Those look like they had something, but I think that was from that was during this time period here. So that's a time of +2 to -2, +3 to -3, something like that. So something happened there, maybe a gust of wind. But this is just to show, it's a follow-up video to show the performance of a small guide scope. The main OTA is the Celestron 1100 HD with the 0.7 reducer, so it's at 1960, I believe, millimeter focal length, being guided by a about 250 focal length guide scope. So I think that it's coming out all right. Here's another sub that just came in. and looks pretty round to me. I mean, it's better than what I was getting, so it's just a steady work in progress, and I'll continue to try to make improvements. But just the fact that I can get a guide star now that has a really high signal to noise ratio means that it's keeping in the center of that. It knows where the center of the star is. With my off-axis guider, I was only getting 10 dB signal to noise, maybe less than that, pretty consistently. And that would be the brightest star that I could find. Maybe if I was lucky, I would stumble across a 20. But now, you know, in this one, that's just one star that I picked. I had like 8 or 9 of them that were all over 100 signal to noise. So here's my last sub in. I'll show before I call it a day. But you know, they're not perfectly round, but again, it's all about making steady improvements and trying to get your gear to where it performs for you. So, all right, well, have a good one.